Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Answers by Citing Lord's Version, text number 24 onwards. So Krishna is telling Brahmaji, and this is quoted by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Sujami tapsa vedam, grisami tapsa punah vivarmi tapsa vishvam viryam nedushcharam tapaha. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is penance only. So even Krishna or Vishnu, I think here Vishnu is speaking to Brahmaji, and he's saying, I create this cosmos by penance. Penance is austerity. Austerity means to do something to attain some higher goal. Voluntarily undergoing some tribulations to attain something higher. Lord Vishnu, for himself, he doesn't create this cosmos, maintains it, and then annihilates it. He doesn't do it for himself. He does it for us, conditioned souls. To maintain it, of course, from his perspective, it's nothing. It doesn't matter, but it's a huge task, actually. So Prabhupada, instead of getting into what Lord Vishnu does, he clearly goes into devotion service. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity, name, and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penance. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. Why then are there severe types of penance for the perfection of devotion service? An easygoing life and attainment of perfection and transcendental realization cannot go together. So, to attain anything, even in the material world, we have to undergo lots of austerities, sacrifice. Means if some student wants good grades in his 10th or any final exam, he has to study. That's an austerity. That's a sacrifice. It's a tapasya. He has to study really hard. So easygoing life is not there for studies, and then he has to, for when he gets a job or runs a business. Business people really work hard, 12, 14 hours a day. Or even in the job now, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, one has to work to maintain the job. So the austerity is there, sacrifice is there. So similarly in devotion life, if we want to have perfection, if we want to attain perfection, we have to put in our good efforts. So that is penance, that is sacrifice. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord, either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order, however painstaking, is a severe type of penance. So order is there either directly through the Lord or through the bona fide spiritual master. It's the same. Just like when Srila Prabhupada asked us to chant 16 rounds every day, follow the 4 regulative principles. Of course it is difficult. Of course it's an austerity for us. But we have to do it to attain something higher, not just higher, or just the topmost thing. One who follows a principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. And the Lord's mercy actually follows the mercy of Guru. So if Prabhupada is given his mercy on anybody, being pleased by his sincere serving attitude, being pleased by his sacrifice, then Krishna has to give the devotee his mercy. Just like today, I posted about that Kurma Prabhu and how Prabhupada was pleased by his cooking. And Prabhupada said, you must be following everything properly, otherwise nobody can cook such nice puris for Krishna or such nice bhoga for Krishna. So that's an austerity, that's a sacrifice. But ultimate goal was to please Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very happy with him. Text 25. Brahma Vacha Bhagwan Sarva Bhutanam Adhyaksho Avastito Guham Vedahi Aprati Rudhena Pragyanena Chikirshitam. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as a supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. So Brahmaji said, you are situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So you know whatever endeavors or sacrifices one is doing, whatever austerities one is performing. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as a witness, and as such, he is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, for without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. Lord is situated and he is a supreme director. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, but without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, and Prabhupada gives an example. In a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his explication to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of so many drunkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy. And everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the Son, fulfills the living entity's desire for his childish satisfaction. With such desires in mind, the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily without profit. The drunkard does not derive any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of the drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. It's a very nice example. A drunkard, he wants to drink because he's just so addicted, so habituated to drink, but he does not derive any profit, and actually he does not enjoy through drinking. So who enjoys? First of all, the drunkard thinks he's enjoying. He doesn't enjoy. He just gets drunk and he just forgets everything else, and he just basically becomes a joker for everybody else, and he thinks he's enjoying that. He doesn't at all. So who enjoys? Somebody must be enjoying. Of course, Krishna as Paramatma doesn't enjoy. He's not attached to or connected to this drinking anyway. So there are actually living entities. Now this is taught to us in pranic healing. There are living entities who are this, from the thought form of this drunkard. There are the living entities who takes the form. of that thought, and they stick to his different chakras. And they are the ones who take this liquor. And the drunkard who's drinking, it's his desire. And that's when his thought form take the form of real entities. And they drink. And they are stuck in his chakras and they make him crave more and more for this liquor. So what's the point in drinking? But one who's a drunkard, one who's habituated, one who's addicted, he cannot give it up. It's and he doesn't benefit at all because his money is wasted, his body is completely ruined by drinking, his liver is completely messed up, and he doesn't even enjoy. What's the point? But this liquor business is such a strong business all over the world. So many people waste so much of money in drinking. It's crazy. The impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless, and others recommend banishing desires altogether. That is impossible. No one can banish desires altogether because desiring is a living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desires go together. So, living entity has to desire. You cannot become desireless or means no desires. We can become desireless, but that doesn't mean no desires. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord, and the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. That is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. Oneness with the Lord therefore consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. So desires have to be there. Living entity is full of desires because the Lord has the desires. Lord is also not without any desire. So we are part and parcel of Krishna, so we also have desire. But we have to make sure that our desires are aligned with the desires of the Lord. So Prabhupada uses the word dovetailing. Dovetailing one's desires with the desire. Dovetailing means desire of the Supreme Lord are in the front and we follow him. So that makes perfection of all desires. So not the desire for drinking or not the desire for any other sense gratification, but to serve Krishna and serve Krishna's instructions. That should be the desire. And this is what Brahmaji did. And that's what pleased the Lord so much, that he gave full darshan to Brahmaji. The Lord, as a super soul in the heart of every living being, knows what's in the mind of each living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By his superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to the fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord. So, Krishna is sitting in the heart as Paramatma. He knows the desires, and if the desires are so strong, he gives a chance to fulfill those desires, and then he gets a reaction by mercy of the Lord also. So, everything comes from the Lord. Tathapi natham anasya nath nathai nathitam paravare yatharupe janiyam te tvarupinah. In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all. Now here, Brahmaji is asking a question to the Lord. See, Bhagavatam is full of questions and answers. So he's asking, although you have a transcendental form, but you assume a mundane form. Why? Why do you do that? Yathatma maya yogena nana shakti upabrahmitum vilumpan visrijan grinan vibrit atmanatmana. And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation. How your different energies work. The whole manifestation is the Lord Himself by diffusion of His different energies only, namely the internal, external, and marginal, just as the sunlight is a manifestation of the energy of the sun planet. Such energy is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, just as the sunshine is simultaneously one with and different from the sun planet. The energies are acting by combination and permutation by the indication of the Lord. And the acting agents like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are also different incarnations of the Lord. In other words, there is nothing but the Lord. And still the Lord is different from all such manifestive activities. How it is so will be explained later on. So there is nothing but the Lord, but still He is different. Means they are all His energies, but Him as a person is different from all these activities. Text 28. Kridasya moga sankalpa urnabhir yathornute tatha tadvishayam dehi manisham mai madhava. O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. Play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible. So he's saying, Brahma is saying, you're Madhav. You're Madhav here. The meaning is given, master of all energies. So you are the master of all energies, but you play like a spider and cover itself by its own energy. Means when he appears in the material world, it looks like he's covered by those energy, that external energy. Actually it doesn't, but it looks like so. By the inconceivable energy of the Lord, every creative element has its own potencies, known as the potency of the element, potency of knowledge, and potency of different actions and reactions. By a combination of such potential energies of the Lord, there is a manifestation of creation, maintenance, and annihilation in due course of time. And by different agents like Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Brahma creates, Vishnu maintains, and Lord Shiva destroys. But all such agents and creative energies are emanations from the Lord, and as such, there is nothing except the Lord, or the one supreme source of different diversities. The exact example is the spider and spider's web. The web is created by the spider and it is maintained by the spider. And as soon as the spider likes, the whole thing is wound up within the spider. So the web he creates by his own saliva, the whole web. And he roams around in that web, and then he can just uh, wind up the whole web if he wants, or many times it is said that he gets entangled in the web and he dies. But obviously, the Lord doesn't do that. He can wind up. He can finish off the whole web, whole creation. He doesn't die with it. The spider is covered within the web. If an insignificant spider is so powerful as to act according to its will, why can't the Supreme Being act by His supreme will in the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the cosmic manifestations? By the grace of the Lord, a devotee like Brahma, or in his chain of disciplic succession, can understand the Almighty Personality of Godhead, eternally engaged in His transcendental pastimes in the region of different energies. So Brahmaji is asking him so many questions. Bhagvat ichikshitam aham karvani hitandritaha nehmahna praja sargam badheyam ayad anugrihat. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter by the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities. So Brahmaji is asking all these questions so that he can become an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Brahmaji does not want to become a speculator dependent on the strength of his personal knowledge and conditioned to material bondage. Everyone should know in clear consciousness that one is, in the execution of all activities, an instrument. The one is just an instrument. We are not the controllers. A conditioned soul is instrumental in the hands of the external energy, Gunamayi Maya, or the illusory energy of the Lord. And in the liberated stage, the living entity is instrumental to the will of the personality of Godhead directly. So when we are conditioned, when we are entangled, we are an instrument in the hands of Maya. And when we are liberated, we voluntarily become an instrument in the hands of Krishna. So simple for us. But the problem is when we want to become the controller. So we don't want to be the instrument, we want to hold the instrument. That's where the problem is. To be instrumental to the direct will of the Lord is a natural constitutional position of the living entity, whereas to be an instrument in the hands of illusory energy of the Lord is material bondage for the living entity. In that conditioned state, the living entity speculates on the absolute truth and his different activities. But in the unconditioned stage, the liberated stage, the living entity directly receives knowledge from the Lord, and such a liberated soul acts flawlessly without any speculative habit. So we have to go from conditioned state to the liberated state. From the hands of Maya, we have to go to working in the hands of Krishna. Of course, when we say we have to go, means even our going is not in our hands. All we can do is desire. We can pray, we can desire. Krishna, please engage me in your service. This is what chanting is. That's what Prabhupada told us. So when we are chanting, we should be praying earnestly sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. Krishna, on my own, I have no capabilities. I can't even serve you properly. You, please be merciful upon me and engage me in your service. I have served Maya long enough. For millions and millions of lifetimes, I have served Maya. Now I have understood. I have understood also by your mercy. And you please engage me in your service. Bhagavad Gita confirms emphatically that the pure devotees who are constantly engaged in the loving transcendental service of the Lord are directly advised by the Lord, so much so that the devotee unwaveringly makes progress on the path home back to Godhead. Pure devotees of the Lord are therefore not proud of their definite progress, whereas a non-devotee speculator is in the darkness of illusory energy and is very much proud of misleading knowledge based on speculations without any definite path. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from that pitfall of pride, although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. So pure devotees of the Lord are not proud of their definite progress. That's something that's very significant, actually. So that's why it is said, a tree which has most number of fruits, the branches of that tree always bend down because of the weight of the fruits. So a pure devotee, more advanced he is, more humble he will be, more willing to serve. That attitude would be there in him. Because he considered himself that I have no qualities. A wonderful example is given, just like a lamp is there. And if the lamp is there in a very dark room, it lights up the whole room. And the lamp starts to think that because of my capabilities, I am removing the darkness of this room. When the same lamp is taken towards the sun, as closer he gets to the sun, he understands he has no power. Sun has all the power. He is very insignificant. So similarly, a devotee, when he is so far away from the sun, so far away from the Lord, he thinks he has some capability, some strength by which he can do wonders. And Krishna might use him in that service. It's not impossible for Krishna, but the devotee should understand, I have no powers. I have no strength. I have no capabilities. And when he grows further in bhakti and comes closer to Krishna, he understands all the powers are within Krishna. I have no powers. Look at all the prayers that Prabhupada wrote when he went to America, when he reached this Boston Harbor. He had written the prayers, Markine Bhagavad. And in that prayers he has written that because he went down in Boston Harbor with Captain Pandya and he went around Boston town, came back to the boat, and then he wrote the poem. He said, for some reason you have brought me here, oh my Lord. This place is full of ignorance and passion. I don't know why you have brought me here, but you have brought me here, so must be some purpose of yours to fulfill. So you make me dance. You have somehow given me this title, Bhakti Vedanta, although uh, I'm not qualified. But since you got me this title and you have brought me here, so you make me dance the way you want me to dance. I have no capabilities. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his songs, he has sung his feelings, written his feelings towards his Gurudev. You know that Ekaki Ammar Nahi Paya Bal Harinam Sankirtan. It means without your mercy, I'm nothing. I cannot do anything. I have no strength. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing like that. But when we are in the beginning, neophyte states, we think, I have lots of strength. I have lots of capabilities. The whole world is running because of me. Whatever service somehow we get and we do, and we think, I am the doer of this service. I should be enjoying the results of this service or this activity. That's where we make the mistake. And here Brahmaji, from his example, he's showing us, like Prabhupada right, Brahmaji wanted to be saved from that pitfall of pride. Although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. He's the first living being and he's a creator. Of course, he's a secondary creator, but he's the one chosen for that service by Krishna. The most powerful living entity within the universe. And he is saying, I don't have any capabilities. I want to be used as an instrument by you. So anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
This is one of the most beautiful class, Prabhuji, and
Thank you,
throughout,
friendly.
throughout the collection or the amalgamation of the entire Bhagavad Gita, this is what everywhere I believe, and I feel that Lord Krishna talks about his supremacy, and the two things he's teaching to Arjuna also, and through Arjuna, it's for everybody in this world that do not give up, just keep doing what you're doing, and then I'm there everywhere. And Prabhuji, just one more line. Today morning I was reading on chapter 7, sloka 10. He is talking, Lord Krishna is talking about a seed, beach, and he's in the form of beach. And when the seed becomes a tree, he says it's a tree. We look at a tree like a tree, but we do not understand that it's coming out from a seed, and seed is nothing but Lord Krishna himself. and so many other things. But the entire thing is it's all about him only. He is everywhere, and but we, for our self gratification, we indulge in so many things, other things, till contaminations, inclined towards prosperities and every other thing. We get blind on just collecting money and so many things, so many desires we have. But it's just one liner. It's just so simple as it is that the more and more we are towards Krishna, slowly and gradually we become, we leave all these mayas one side, and then we achieve this.
Yep, yep, that's true. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Uh, you were mentioning during the course of the talk lecture that those who are drinking, they are being possessed by some ghosts.
One way is to say is ghost. Some places it's written ghost, but in pranic healing they tell the entities. They say there are entities. They get stuck to the chakras of the people who are addicted to drinking or any other things. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it is applicable to all kinds of addictions.
Yes.
No, I'm asking, this is only applicable to the drinking or to all addictions which we have?
No, to all kinds of. So it depends which chakra is more activated for that kind of addiction. So the entities, they get stuck in that chakra, and they are the ones who make the go for craving more and more strong.
So the soul as such, the soul which is occupying the body, he doesn't have a desire to enjoy.
He has a desire. That's when all these entities they come and kind of
they
take over.
Empower him to lose his control.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Like the soul is a primary resident. Of course, even when we are not addicted, we still have so many other living entities inside this body.
Yeah.
So, but the main soul is a primary resident. Rest all are secondary residents.
So the entities which are stuck to the chakras, they can influence our thinking.
Yeah. If the soul is not strong, if the primary resident is not strong.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, bro. Thank you very much. This is a wonderful class. A lot of things I learned.
And actually, this is what we are taught. So by pranic healing, we can remove those entities. But condition is the soul has to the soul has to be ready to give up those entities. Then only we can remove.
Right. Yeah, we need to have
yeah, the willpower has to be there. Yes.
So Prabhuji, we have remedies also in this entire Bhagavad Gita also. I think the medicines for different addictions.
Well, Bhagavad Gita gives a simple remedy, just surrender.
Yeah.
Surrender and do bhakti. Manmana bhav mad bhaktam madhyaji mam namaskuru.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Anyway, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Shri
Jai Prabhupada.